Turning now to the worsening crisis in Ukraine, the United States is talking tough about Russia's actions in Ukraine, with President Barack Obama warning Moscow that it's on the wrong side of history. His comments come as Ukraine's military remains on high alert along its eastern border with Russia as troops prepare for the possibility of an invasion. Park Ji-won reports.
Speaking to reporters at the White House on Monday, U.S. President Obama said Russia has violated international law with its military intervention in Ukraine.
I think the world is largely united in recognizing that the steps Russia has taken are a violation of Ukraine's sovereignty, Ukraine's territorial integrity.
The U.S. president also said Washington is considering economic and diplomatic sanctions that could isolate Russia.
If, in fact, they continue on the current trajectory that they're on, that we are examining a whole series of steps, economic, diplomatic, that will isolate Russia and will have a negative impact on Russia's economy and its status in the world.
He, however, stressed the importance of de-escalating the situation and called for international efforts, such as the deployment of international monitors, to broker a deal that is satisfactory to the Ukrainian people. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden is also urging Russia to pull its forces out of Ukraine. In a phone call with Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev Monday, Biden called on Russia to engage in dialogue with the Ukrainian government immediately. Meanwhile, it turns out Ukraine's ousted President Viktor Yanukovych requested Russian President Vladimir Putin use Russia's armed forces in Ukraine. This is according to Russia's UN ambassador, who read out a letter Yanukovych had written to Putin at an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council.
Ukraine is on the brink of a civil war. The life, the security, and the rights of people, particularly in the southeast part, in Crimea, are being threatened. So in this regard, I will call on the President of Russia, Mr. Putin, asking him to use the armed forces of the Russian Federation to establish the legitimacy, peace, law and order, stability, and defending the people of Ukraine.
Ukraine claims some 16,000 Russian troops have been deployed in Crimea since last week. Russian state media outlet Interfax earlier reported Russia's Black Sea Fleet had given Ukrainian forces until early Tuesday morning local time to surrender or face attack. Park Ji-won, Arirang News.